Seriously though, this is the third time in a row today I got spawned into an already in progress strike, and it spawns me at the very beginning of the strike. Why not spawn me next to my, teammates that are supposedly, look at this. This is how far in they got. I'm not kidding, guys. I mean, come on, Bungie. How hard? I mean, it's bad enough that when you die, Ghost puts you practically outside of the room you're fighting in. But when you're being drugged, that's already in progress, so you're missing out on all the. Now you got to sit around and wait for them to pull you forward because by the time you jog all the way up there, it'll happen just the same. I mean, it's a waste of time, in my opinion. Mostly in the sense that time equals effort and reward. See? So by cutting me off of half of the possible rewards in the strike, and then dropping me at the very beginning of the strike, I lose out on 2/3 of the rewards possible in the strike. That's Glimmer, rare items, which are weapon parts, which I use continuously to farm weapons from the gunsmith. Because that's what I do. That's my thing. That's how I play this game. That's what I go for in this game. I'm constantly re-rolling guns, and the guns that I have, and the guns that I have, I'm able to get from the gunsmith. So it's like, that's why I've been saying I don't do raids. There's no value in them for me. I don't do trials. None of the weapons do anything for me. I mean, you'd have to be a crack shot to begin with to make adept weapons be even viable for yourself. It's kind of ridiculous, putting a katana in the hands of somebody who barely knows how to handle a steak knife. And this all comes down to the same thing I've been saying for, like, I don't know, a season or two now. Know who you are, know what your limits are. Don't fight your limits, work with your limits. See if you can't use them as an advantage against people or targets that might be expecting something else. I mean, these guys are all running on an algorithm. They're all anticipating a certain power level out of me, and therefore they're applying a certain amount of pressure in certain areas. You can exploit that. If you play enough of these strikes and you memorize the patterns and you get, well, not to necessarily even memorize the patterns, just get familiar with the way the enemies behave, you can actually exploit their anticipation of your abilities. And they're not a learning AI. They do not adapt. They have very set instructions and they're easy to pick apart. And I hate to say it, but a lot of PvP players are the same way. Why am I not a god in PvP? Because I don't care. I contest my intelligence against other players just to fucking have the fun of it. And yeah, I love being outplayed. I would rather lose 15 matches to being outskilled and outplayed than even losing one match to a person that cheated. That's just me. And hopefully, I mean, someday maybe it'll be you too. YouTube. YouTube cheats. Okay, so yeah, Bungie, if you happen to stumble across this, dudes, instead of dropping us at the start of a fucking activity, opening of the activity, when the activity is already halfway progressed, take us to the point where the other players are. That's just good manners, in my opinion. And that's about all I got to share. Thanks for stopping by.